Hey everybody, welcome to Charity TV. This is episode, I have no clue. I try to count the episodes, but we've probably shot of over 1,000 episodes and videos, and honestly, I just lost track, so whatever. Today is about sponsorships. We're going to talk about what is a sponsorship, how do you get sponsorships, and everything there is to know about sponsorships. So, shameless promotion. This is from my boys down in Georgia from the Southern States Police Benevolent Association. Thanks a lot, guys. I love this. Also going to take a swig of my coffee. That's some good coffee. From St. Michael's. I'd like to thank everybody at St. Michael's for great stuff. Thank you so much. This is a great cup of coffee, great mug. And I also have some swag. Honestly, I bought a lot of this stuff because it's the best coffee I've ever had. Plus, we're supporting our men and women in blue. St. Michael's is formed by a police officer himself, and they've got great stuff. And St. Michael's, if you're not familiar, is the patron saint of law enforcement. They're a great supporter, and they make, let me take one more swig of this great St. Michael's coffee. They, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of their coffee goes to the Southern States Police Benevolent Association. Thanks a lot. Fantastic. So, sponsorships. There's a lot of common sense. A lot of times today, charities actually shut off their common sense when they're doing all kind of stuff. I'm actually going through it right now, and I just literally typed out a 5-page document for our West Coast office, and because they're going into a meeting with a charity, explaining about sponsorships. So, what is a sponsorship? Well, it's easier to say what is not a sponsorship. A sponsorship is not a donated item. Let's say somebody wants to donate this great cup. This is not a sponsorship. Let's say this Dan Marino autographed pit helmet that's going into an event next week out in Western Pennsylvania. That's not a sponsorship if that's donated. It's not a sponsorship if somebody buys a table at your event. That's not a sponsorship. A sponsorship is John Smith cuts a check. You have sponsorship levels. Now, let's talk about the sponsorship levels we do. 5,000 is a gold sponsor. Well, let's go above that. Platinum sponsor is considered the title or the event sponsor. As an example, Byron Workin from Workin Law sponsored the Road Dog Rumble for the Maryland State Police Alumni Association. He donated $10,000 to be the title sponsor. Basically, it means this event is brought to you by Workin Law, benefiting the Maryland State Police Alumni Association. That's a platinum, $10,000 plus. I've seen people write $30,000 checks for that. I've seen people write all kind of money for that because they want to be the #1 sponsor and they want to be presented in front of everybody. Now, come down. $5,000. That's a gold sponsor. Silver, $2,500. Bronze, $1,000. So, when we're doing so they're cutting you a check for that. Now, when we're creating these sponsorship levels, we're creating packages, okay? Because in reality, this is a what can you do for me society. Am I right? Everybody wants to know, okay, what do I get for this? Kind of like you go out and buy a car. You want to buy a used car, you want to buy a new car, or you want to buy a really great car with all the options, or if you want a Lamborghini, you're going to pay for this price, but you're getting a Lamborghini. Platinum sponsor, the Lamborghini sponsors. Gold is like a nice Mercedes, BMW. Silver, Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge. Bronze, a really nice used car. Okay? So, but as you go up, you get better and better. Now, what you've got to understand, when you're setting these sponsorship levels, each one has a little bit better, gets a little bit better. The packages range. Now, what is a sponsorship level? Is it somebody who really, really, truly cares about your charity and they really want to sponsor? Or is it they want to be marketed? Sponsorship levels today in 2019, about to be 2020 in 6 or 7 months or whatever, right now it's about marketing. Companies or people want to be marketed. Let's just say, like for instance, the Southern States PBA, we're doing the Brothers in Blue Bash, Augusta, Georgia, coming October 26th. You cannot get a better advertisement opportunity, a better sponsorship opportunity than this event. You can't get it because there's going to be like 1,000 people there, a bajillion people there. You can't get better advertisement than at that event. So if you want to be advertised, you got to pay $10,000, $5,000, $2,500, $1,000. But understand that the more you pay, the more you're going to get. It's marketing 101. Come on, guys. It is what it is. But when people sponsor, they're not sponsoring because they want to be so giving and it's so great, let's sponsor you, let's give you 5 G's. No, they're sponsoring because they want to be advertised. They want marketing. Now, with each level, you got to give more. Let's just say, for instance, let's say like the gold sponsor. Now, we have to keep in mind in the back of our head, the more we give, the more we lose, right? So we have to structure it so at each level, we're not losing any money. Say gold, give them $5,000. Remember, it's a marketing thing. It's a philanthropic thing. If somebody is giving you $5,000, it's a philanthropic thing. What philanthropic means, charitable donation. A philanthropic thing. So if they give you $5,000, we're going to give them a table. We have to understand that we have cost in that. In that table, we got to pay whatever we got to pay for the table, and then we're taking some profit off the ticket margin. But we're going to keep that. The remainder of that $5,000 take off the price of the ticket or whatever else comes with that. That's our profit. Now, if we come down to $2,500, down to a silver sponsor, and we give them a table, what happens? Our profit gets smaller. We can't do that. Can't lose because we're trying to, what are we trying to do here? Raise money, right? In the end, raise money. So we have to reduce the amount of cost that we have in that thing. We can't give them a table, so we got to reduce it down. What we do is we reduce it down to 5 tickets, and what normally happens is that sponsor will then buy the remaining 5 tickets and fill a table of 10. Now, we're reducing our costs, so we're keeping a good amount of donation, the money that's raised there. Then we come down to the bronze, $1,000. Now, can you imagine if you gave a bronze sponsor a table? It's $1,000. Well, how much is our cost in that damn table? So what we got to do is we have to reduce the amount of giveaway. So we're making sponsorships is a totally different thing than making money off the tickets, because they're 2 different fundraising platforms. That's what I call it. That's the words I use, fundraising platforms. So what I do is I tell my clients to do, and the ones that are successful, this is what they do. I give them 2 tickets at $1,000. Because, listen, this isn't about selling tickets. This is about sponsorship and fundraising and marketing and all that other stuff. So what happens? You give them 2 tickets. A lot of times they'll take the 2 tickets. They won't even come, or they'll buy the remaining 8 tickets and fill the table. That's a sponsorship. Do not confuse sponsorship. Now, here's something else. Do not do this. You in the back, don't do this. Here's a common thing, and this happened to me a few years ago. So I go up to a person and I ask them, hey, would you donate this? He says, yes, I'll donate this cup of coffee. This St. Michael's cup. I'm going to donate this to you. But I want, let's just say this is worth 2 tickets. I want 2 tickets. Now, I'll give you this. It's worth this amount of money. It's worth as much, or if not more, than your tickets. I'm going to donate this. Now, the problem is, this goes back to what I always talk about. The problem is, today donated items are only bringing what? Come on with me. 1/8 to 1/4 of retail in any silent or live auction across the United States. That's donations. So, let's say your tickets is worth, 2 tickets are worth $150. Let's just say $75 a piece. And he says this cup is worth $150. Okay? We know because we've talked about this. We know that donated items are bringing them 1/8 to 1/4 of their retail. Now, 150 as opposed to 150. Okay, let's go even Steven. Now, we have, let's just say we're paying $50 a head at this venue. So we have $100 cost, right? We have $100. This is called what they call an in-kind donation. You give me 2 tickets, I give you this thing that's worth the same amount of money. Problem is here we go. We know we have $100 worth of cost in that ticket, in that $150 worth of cost that we have to pay the venue. However, this thing that he says is $150 sells for $50. What happens? You just lost $50. This is not a sponsorship. In fact, do not ever do this. Don't ever say, hey, I'll take your donation. I'll give you 2 tickets for that donation. That's worth the same amount of money. Don't do it. Say no, 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 thank you. If you're not going to donate that clearly out to us, we're not really interested. That's called an in-kind donation. So those are things. Remember, a sponsorship, a financial sponsor, when somebody cuts you a check, remember that's clearly a philanthropic or a donation. You got to make sure that you're making money on each one. Do not give away don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. Make sure you're making money. You're not giving away too much. It also make sure with each increase, this is a what can you do for me society, with each increase that you are also making money. You're making money in each level. You're not giving away too much. Okay, you're giving them more, but you're making money too. Okay, that's my tip for today about sponsorships. I hope that you understand something. If you have any questions, comment below, and hopefully that will help you raise more money in your next fundraiser. I'm George from BW Limited Charity Fundraising. Check out our website. You know it. Probably going to follow this video. See you next time. Bye-bye.